It's Tuesday, and you know what today is. Today is every episode on Tuesdays. That didn't make any sense, but that's okay. Today is the episode where we do Let Your Story Drive You. So I'm very excited today because I am here with one of MMA's amazing instructor artists, Miss Crystal Drake. And I'm super excited to be interviewing her today, and she's thrilled too. Can't you tell?
Can't you tell?
Anyway, it's hilarious. So I'm very excited that you all joined us today for Facebook Live, and of course, I just have a few questions for her. So we'll start with one of my favorite questions, which is, what was it that drove you to want to become a makeup artist?
It's a little depressing. There was just some circumstances in my life where I had to go move back in with my parents at 26, and it was kind of sad and depressing. Like, my mom wouldn't let me go see my boyfriend because my dishes weren't done, and I was like, this is life. So I was watching a lot of YouTube videos and kind of thinking of how I could make a change. This was like a rebuilding period of my life, and I thought, after like months of watching YouTube, I was like, why can't I do this? Why can't I do this on other people for money and supplement my income? So that's kind of how it started, and I was really bad at first, and I didn't know it, and at some point I was like, you need to take yourself to school so that you can just suck less.
So that you can just suck less.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's great. So I love what you said, though, in your synopsis of how you got started with this, is that a few different things happened. It was, a moment in your life when you needed to go through a change and had a transition moment. And I think a lot of people reach that place where they come to a point where it's like, okay, I need to make a change. And you thought about makeup, watched YouTube videos, and then, of course, making money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you said that prior to our interview here. I asked Crystal, what is it that drove you? She's like,
these bills.
These bills, to be exact.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's great, because one of our blog posts, actually, this week, we had part 2 of your side hustle. Mm-hmm. And we've been talking about how a lot of people start out like that, with doing makeup or other ways to add to their income and make money. And it's turned into something really amazing.
Yeah, this was a side hustle for a long time, several years, until I went full-time. So yeah, all the bills.
And can you tell us about what it is that you do full-time outside of being an instructor artist here at MMA?
Now I do makeup full-time. I do a lot of commercial and mostly bridal. I run a bridal business. It's been relatively successful. I feel like
very successful.
Yeah, well,
Crystal's not going to pump herself up. Devon says, Crystal was my very first student. She is an amazing success story. You have come so far, Crystal, in your artistry and in your business. And see, that's a perfect example of Crystal, just kind of being really humble. But
it makes me feel so gross and icky to be like
on camera right now.
Well, that, and then also just to talk about myself, my achievements. It just makes me so, if I won an award, I might pee my pants.
Well, you have won an award. It said, Devon said, I know she wants to cry. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Brandy.
My soul.
I know, it hurts. But you know what? I think the students see that more than anything. Mm-hmm. And Crystal actually has a team of multiple MMA graduates, many that she actually works with. And Sarah says hi. Sarah Savo. Hi, Sarah. And she has employed MMA graduates as a result of the success of her business, which speaks volumes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You don't have to say anymore. I'll say it all for you. Okay, great. So, Crystal, I also wanted to ask you, who or what has been an inspiration to you in your career?
I feel like I come from a corporate background, like an IT background, so boring is my nature. So I don't look at myself as a makeup artist. I really look at myself like a technician, right? I'm taking client feedback and trying to create a look based on a weird formula, what they want and what I think is going to look good, and correcting features. Although there's artists whose work I love, I feel like the work that I do, the kind of work I do in commercial and video, or commercial and bridal, doesn't lend itself to being super creative. Mm-hmm. So I really come at it from more of a technician's point of view.
That's very interesting. I love that take on, I guess not artistry, but that take on you as a makeup artist.
Yeah.
Is, being a technician. And I think that that's something that, really is important in the classroom environment because, MMA takes an academic approach to teaching artistry. That's part of who we are. And so that embodies who MMA is, really understanding the everyday person. These brides are everyday women that you're doing makeup on, and it really is a formula. Makeup is a science, and I think that technicality, though, is what really separates a great artist from just a good one.
Because it's not about me. It's not, sometimes it's about what I'm like, no, that's going to look crazy. Let's not do that.
Right.
But nicer. It's not about, like, what I want. Even if I think, like, she could wear a lot more. It's really, like, what she's going to be comfortable in. And so it's a lot of, like, your technical skill in being able to correct and enhance features. And then also, like, a lot of soft skills that I've gained over the years in how to deal with people and kind of get out what's in your head. Which I think is really the trick to doing bridal.
Huge. I mean, doing bridal is a lot less about artistry and more about communicating with your client and giving them what they want.
Yeah,
so,
like makeup artist telepathy.
Right? Makeup artist telepathy. Yeah. What do you mean by that smoky eye?
Yeah.
Right? Or that Instagram picture, or from Pinterest. That's
Pinterest is my nemesis.
Pinterest is my nemesis. Yes. Quote that one from Crystal. You're getting a lot of love here, too. Deborah said, such a unique approach to her work goes to show anything is possible. Go Crystal. She represents MMA. And Devon was saying earlier that you are absolutely amazing to learn from, which I agree.
Made me all sniffly.
And I'm sure the students and everyone that is watching us right now is thinking the same thing if they've been able to experience the crystal.
The crystal.
I'm going to coin that.
Buttons and t-shirts.
Buttons and t-shirts. Oh, Jen says, hi ladies, Crystal cracks me up. She's such a pleasure to work with and her work is amazing. You get lots of love today. And Karen, hi Karen, thanks for joining. Okay, so let's get on to our next question. My next question for you is, what is it that you've learned in your career? Maybe one, kind of solitary thing that has been most valuable.
I think, like, again, it's not like your standard answer. Like, I am pretty socially awkward. I think anyone who's met me or had to talk to me on the phone, God forbid, knows, like, the awkwardness that is me. But doing makeup and dealing with people and having to, like, figure this, like, back and forth out, it has helped me immensely. I'm still socially awkward, but it's way easier for me to communicate with people. So I feel like that has been the biggest thing besides, like, making money and doing what I love.
Making money and doing what I love.
That has been, like, the biggest thing. Like, I found a different confidence in my ability to talk to people. I mean, you still have to be looking for this flavor of person. I mean, if you want someone who's, like, super bubbly and like, oh my God, are you ready to get married? Are you excited? That's not me.
Yeah, that's me.
It's not me. Even bridesmaids have commented, like, you're not like that kind of makeup artist who's, like, in my face and fussing over me. That's not, I feel like if my clients were looking for that, they wouldn't hire me. Right. But I still get hired, so it must be okay.
Yeah, I think it's worked. Needless to say, you built an amazing bridal business over the last 7 years, and so Crystal's, like, booked, like, years out and
not years
crazy,
out, just pretty solidly.
Really solidly, yeah. So I think that's a great piece of information, though, is that outside of doing what you love and making money off of it, being able to develop that confidence and the ability to communicate to people. Yeah. I mean, that is a huge skill set, I feel like, to have gained, and it actually grows your business because you're able to do that well.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's awesome. And something that I think a lot of students, those of you that are watching, hi Kyle, hi Karen, can relate to is that, you don't always have to be that bubbly, super artist personality, because artists come in all shapes and forms and sizes and personality types. Yeah. So not being pigeonholed into feeling like you have to be that person. And Christina says, many artists have to overcome their awkwardness. Very true. It's great to hear that someone as successful as Crystal has dealt with that issue and overcome. Aww. Yeah, very big deal. Yeah. I think, too, I talk about this all the time, people dealing with their own anxieties and fears and all of that, I feel like is something that's become more and more, people have become more aware of it. And so seeing that you can overcome some of those things is just awesome.
I mean, I think I use humor a lot. But if like my client is also awkward, then like it's an awkward salad. And the trial is really like, it takes a minute to kind of warm up.
Takes a little time.
Yeah, I'm like, and now I just say it out loud. I'm like, oh,
I'm
it's
awkward.
the socially awkward club here. And then she'll be like, yeah, it's funny. So it works.
Yeah, I think anyone could attest that your humor is actually amazing, Christina.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jen saying something. Agreed, Christina. It's not always easy to be one-on-one with someone, especially being right in their face.
And
Such
touching.
a big obstacle. Yeah, that's
It's
true.
hard, like, for introverts, I feel like myself at least, like, after I do a wedding, I've, like, touched people's faces and been this close for, 5 to 8 hours.
Right.
It's exhausting, and so just this experience has, I think 7 years ago, I would just have maybe, like,
Just
died.
collapse.
Yeah, or just fallen out. But now it's just given me a whole nother skill set.
Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, when you get this close, to someone's face, you find out a lot about them and really a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
And it pushes you into
Yeah.
unforeseen circumstances and uncharted territory.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last question for you, Crystal, is those students that we have that are watching that have been in your classroom or will be in your classroom or want to be in your classroom, or any artist out there that's just starting out, what piece of advice would you give to them that would be valuable?
I feel like I have two. Like, one, and I don't see this as much with most new artists in my experience, but it's not about like you. It's about either like your learning experience or what you can do for the client or what you can do for the artist that you're assisting, or how you can be an asset to the company that you're working for. But then also, like, my biggest piece of advice is that you just have to keep doing it. Like, the only way that your skill improves is through repetition, is through the muscle memory that you gain by doing it on other people. Different skin tones, different faces, different personalities, different people who react to your makeup. Some people might be like, oh my god, it's beautiful, and somebody might be like, I look like a drag queen, right? So like, the only way that you get better is by just doing it and continuing to do it. No success is going to fall in your lap.
Agreed.
Right? Like, those opportunities where people post selfies on Instagram and blow up because like a celebrity picks them up as an artist, like, those are few and far between. That is not the norm. That is not how the majority of people gain success, especially in such a competitive and like robust industry like this. There's a lot of other people that you're competing with, essentially. So having the experience is paramount.
Yeah, I agree with
Doing
that.
it. You have to practice. You will not get better if you don't practice.
Thank you for saying that, because I think sometimes people forget, like, this is fun, this is an art, but you have to practice to be good. And I think that's a great piece of advice that everyone should take that's watching, that if you're doing this, don't stop. And it spoke to, I love your verbiage, it spoke to the technician in you, but building muscle memory, right? And repetition, not just like, practice faces, but truly, you're right. Building that muscle memory and repetition is super important to, really growing as an artist and advancing your skills. So, and Karen agrees too. Thank you, Karen, for your comment. So thank you all for watching. Crystal, thanks for joining me today. If you want to see Crystal, you can come in any day not any day, but any time on a Wednesday for Walk-In Wednesday, and you can meet some of our instructor artists here, like Crystal Drake. And we hope that you go check her out on social media and, of course, see her here at the school. So thank you guys for joining today. Have a great one, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.